King Jesus, King Jesus. Okay. Hey, I want to report this morning about this incident that happened in the Black Sea to the USS Donald Cook. It says, what frightened the USS Donald Cook so much in the Black Sea? And this was reported in VoltaireNet.org. It says the State Department acknowledges that the crew of the destroyer USS Donald Cook has been gravely demoralized ever since their vessel was flown over in the Black Sea by a Russian Sukhoi 24 Su-24 fighter jet, which carried neither bombs nor missiles but only an electronic warfare device.
Russian Su-24 scores off against the American USS Donald Cook.
It says on April 10, 2014, the USS Donald Cook entered the waters of the Black Sea, and on April 12, a Russian Su-24 tactical bomber flew over the vessel, triggering an incident that, according to several media reports, completely demoralized its crew, so much so that the Pentagon issued a protest. Well, if you don't know, the USS Donald Cook is a fourth-generation guided missile destroyer whose key weapons are Tomahawk cruise missiles with a range of up to 2,500 kilometers and capable of carrying nuclear explosives. This ship carries 56 Tomahawk missiles in standard mode and 96 missiles in attack mode. The U.S. destroyer is equipped with the most advanced Aegis combat system. It is an integrated naval weapons system which can link together the missile defense systems of all vessels embedded within the same network so as to ensure the detection, tracking, and destruction of hundreds of targets at the same time. In addition, the USS Donald Cook is equipped with 4 large radars whose power is comparable to that of several stations. For protection, it carries more than 50 anti-aircraft missiles of various types.
Russian Sukhoi Su-24 with the nearest jamming system paralyzed in the Black Sea the most modern American combat management system, Aegis, installed on the destroyer USS Donald Cook.
It says, meanwhile, the Russian Su-24 that buzzed the USS Donald Cook carried neither bombs nor missiles, but only a basket mounted under the fuselage, which, according to the Russian newspaper Rossiyskaya Gazeta, contained a Russian electronic warfare device called Kybeny. As the Russian jet approached the U.S. vessel, the electronic device disabled all radars, control circuit systems, information transmission, etc. on board the USS destroyer. In other words, the all-powerful Aegis system, now hooked up or about to be with the defense systems installed on NATO's most modern ships, was shut down as turning off a TV set with a remote control.
A Russian fighter jet made multiple close-range passes near a US warship in the Black Sea at the weekend, the Pentagon said on Monday, amid rising tension in the region between the US and Russia over events in Ukraine. The Arleigh Burke-class destroyer USS Donald Cook was sailing in international waters off the coast of Romania when the Russian jet, reportedly an Su-24 Fencer, made its first pass of the ship. The Pentagon spokesman said the jet passed within 1,000 meters of the ship at an altitude of around 150 meters and made a total of 12 passes during the encounter, which lasted around 90 minutes.
The Russian Su-24 then simulated a missile attack against the USS Donald Cook, which was left literally deaf and blind. As if carrying out a training exercise, the Russian aircraft, unarmed, and repeated the same maneuver 12 times before flying away. After that, the fourth-generation destroyer immediately set sail towards a port in Romania. Since that incident, which the Atlantic media have carefully covered up despite the widespread reaction sparked among defense industry experts, no U.S. ship has ever approached Russian territorial waters again. According to some specialized media, 27 sailors from the USS Donald Cook requested to be relieved from active service. Vladimir Bilibin, director of the Research Center on Electronic Warfare and the Evaluation of so-called visibility reduction techniques attached to the Russian Air Force Academy, made the following statement. The more a radar electronic system is complex, the easier it is to disable it through the use of electronic warfare. Now, Ben Fulford mentioned that the U.S. military has been in a state of shock and demoralized after a top-of-the-line Aegis Class U.S. warship was turned into a crippled sitting duck in the Black Sea earlier this year, according to French and other reports. And then, also, the Russians are bragging, at least on such a false site. What does it mean? It says the U.S. Navy fled in terror as the Russian warships came near Australia. It says a Navy Surface Forces updated report to the Ministry of Defense circulating in the Kremlin on the accelerated deployment of the Pacific Fleet guided missile cruiser Varyag and the destroyer Marshal Shapushinov, along with their support ships to international waters off the coast of Australia, is confirming that the American Navy has sent another of their warships to the region. Joining the Australian Navy's warships, Her Majesty's Australian ship Parramatta and Her Majesty's Australian ship Stuart, that has been ordered to crash sail to meet the Russian fleet, this report continues, is the replenishment vessel Her Majesty's Australian ship Sirius. It says, as they previously reported on November 12th, Russian Navy rushes to Australia over Putin assassination fears. The necessitating of these Russian warships deploying to Australia was due to a Federal Security Services report detailing a plot by the U.S. government to attack President Putin's plane during his attendance to this weekend's G20 summit in Brisbane, Australia. So the Russians thought that the United States government was going to try to assassinate Putin, like they did, like they tried over the Ukraine when they shot down MH17 passenger ship. And they apparently mistaken for Putin's plane. So now they're saying that the U.S. Navy was so afraid of the Russian jamming technology that they would not send any Navy ships into the area when the Russians showed up off the coast of Australia.
to a major summit of world leaders, including President Obama. That summit is the G20 in Australia. The global economy is on the agenda. And in the past few days, at least 4 Russian warships have approached Australia's northern coast or northeast coast in international waters. Russian officials say that they're testing the range of those ships, but they could also give President Putin some extra security. After all, it's looking like he won't have too many friends at this summit.
So they're actually bragging that the United States Navy is pretty much disabled against their technology. That should give them pause.